So we're on to day 5 of our challenge. So you'll notice that it hasn't been consecutive days. That's done on purpose because otherwise you're going to have something every single day and that's a lot to take in. So I'm trying to give you a bit of space to either catch up if you've got behind, and we'll have a practice and work out what works for you and your dog. So day 5, we are giving you another 3 exercises to work on. So we've got warm up, exercise and cool down. Today it's just Merlin for this exercise because poor Ripley is in season, so she's confined to her crate, otherwise you'll get a slightly different video to watch. So the first warm up we're going to be doing now, is your dog stepping through something. Stepping through something. So it can be anything. I've actually got 2 hula hoops, okay, that are quite small. Can be any size hula hoop, can be anything really. And I'm just going to overlap them on the floor like that, and that provides me with 4 areas for my dogs to step across. Okay, shut up Merlin. Very excited, aren't you, mate? That might be if you've got poles at home, if you've got Cavaletti poles, or poles for weaves, you could use those on the floor, just spread them out. Because they're flat on the floor and we're using it as a slow warm up, it's not too important to get a certain amount of distance because we're not using them quite the same as a Cavaletti, but you do want them to be quite small and quite flat. You could, if your dog's not too small, have rolls of wrapping paper, something like that would probably work. And a couple of hand towels that are rolled up quite small. I know she's in her crate, I can see her. But something small. And all you want to do is lay it out on the floor. If I had several hoops and a bit more floor space, I'd probably put the hoops, in a bit more wider spread so that Merlin can sort of trot in between them. But all I want him to do is basically walk his way like that. Good boy, in between each step of the hoop. Now, obviously, if I'm luring, the dogs can't see where they're going, so they're likely to kick what's on the floor. So I try to have my hand in front of them a little bit more really, so that they can see where they're stepping, but I'm still luring from afar. Twit. And the idea is that they lift their feet up, so there's a little bit of body awareness. There's a good boy. Good lad. So if you've got a dog that just barges through and they're not picking their feet up, or it might be you're working with a very old dog, or you might be working with a dog that's had an injury or a recovery, so they can't maybe lift one of their feet up as well all the time, or they've got something like Merlin with his luxating patella. Occasionally he likes to hop when he's doing Cavaletti work, which I try and stop him doing because I want him to use the legs. The other way of doing this is to literally put a treat behind each section you want your dog to walk through, and that will help them to step through much more cautiously. Okay, so you can obviously make your treats much smaller if you're going to do that. So if you warm up today, you need some items that can go on the floor. I've got hula hoops, but it could be poles of any sort. You could, cut out some pieces of boxes if you wanted and fold them in half so they make little V's, and that would work just as well. And then you're just literally guiding your dog to walk through them. Ideally, have the treat away from the nose, because if it's on the nose, they obviously can't see where they're going to go and they're more likely to crash into things, okay? We don't want them jumping, they don't need to be racing out and doing a target, they're literally stepping over the items a few times. So what I've just done there, that would be fine as a warm-up that amount of time, okay? But you could do more should you want to. We'll do yours in a minute. Okay, so have a go with that. If you've got items and you're not sure if it will be suitable, feel free to post a picture. And this is what a entire male looks like when his bitch is in season. Yes, it is. Lot of essences in this house today. Okay, off you go, and we'll bring in your exercise next. Just you.